CDEC, to me, they're more methodical when it comes to taking that T1 tower, moving to a T2. They do get kills, but it's more off of like 3 or 4 man smoke gangs. So it's much more teamfire oriented. So hopefully we get into the draft real fast, because we are kind of halfway in.
We're almost halfway through this draft.
We're always
right
halfway
now.
through the draft.
So.
It's actually kind of fun. We already see. We just mentioned that Team Liquid likes to gank and fight a lot, and there's the draft.
All right.
And I mean, you got the Darkseer Ember Spirit, which is already a very strong combination. And you bring in the Spirit Breaker with that as well. I mean, that's just aggression right there. I do like the picks from CDEC as well, though. A lot of control in them and mobility as well to deal with the aggression of Team Liquid.
I mean, XZ Clockwork. Does nothing else? Anything else need to be said? That guy was on point yesterday with his Clockwork action here. And aggressive, typically they're Queen of Pain player, so expect possibly the safe lane Queen of Pain. Tusk is just a tried and true classic for them, great roaming potential on top of it. And they almost did the favor for Team Liquid banning out that early Night Stalker. So they do need all the control they can get for this Ember Spirit, certainly.
Now, something that Team Liquid has actually done yesterday in their 2 series that they were doing against Mineski is that they run Fada Alchemist mid, as our audio is going to get fixed. I don't know how.
Perfect.
Oh, we're just
We're
okay.
good. We're good.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, they ran Alchemist mid both games. I'm wondering if they're going to do that again today. It apparently worked out. They got a 2-0 with that. Nope,
like
it's going to be Fada Razor.
Yep, so Razor, in terms of the Queen of Pain matchup, should be fine. I don't think you could make a strong argument of how Razor normally dominates the matchup, or any mid matchup, but this one should be a lot more even. To me, I think the key thing is that they picked up their Ember Spirit for Team Liquid.
The thing you have to remember, though, is it is possible that this Queen of Pain will not be mid lane. And
that is true.
CDC have yet to possibly pick their ideal matchup for Razor. And with Team Liquid already banning out the Viper, what do you think would be some of the next best options to really shut down a Razor? Because Razor's known as a lane dominator himself.
I don't think you could shut down Razor. At best,
or
you're
at least go draw.
Yeah,
you know,
draw.
like what would you think then would be?
I think Queen of Pain is a fine draw hero. The Shadow Strike is not going to be too effective, but obviously you can always blink away from that static link.
What would you think, though, about like a TA? If they decide to go with like a Shiki TA in the mid lane and keep aggressive on a safe lane Queen of Pain?
TA's okay, but I feel like TA would have her own bag of problems. For example, Refraction wouldn't be too good against Ember Spirit. The Flame Shield would remove it quite quickly. You could gank her quite easily with Spirit Breaker on the mid lane. Iron Shell's going to be good against her. So I like TA, but just not against this particular draft.
It's just going to be rough because we know Shiki for not having the deepest hero pool. It's like a little kitty inflatable pool, you know? So with already Lina being banned out, Viper, which I wasn't always impressed with Shiki's Viper performance, but it was something he had pulled out time and time again yesterday. They banned that out as well. There's only so many options left, so TA was one of the few things I was like, okay, so where else can he go from here?
I think we are going to see a Queen of Pain mid. They actually have an 83% win rate with this hero, so it's the team as a whole feels very comfortable with this hero, and looks like we're going to see a Visage support. So the question now is, are we going to see a little bit of Drow Visage?
You know, I haven't seen CDC pull out the Drow Visage a whole lot, but I have seen Q just play a mean Visage.
If you're going up against the Razor mid, does it mean that you're having supports that focus more on the safe lane / aggressive tri-lane if you want to go for it? Or do you want to have supports that rotate into mid and try to deal with that Razor? Because he's not that easy to take down with the gank.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to see too many ganks this game. Obviously, Tusk and Visage can roam, especially Visage with that huge burst damage.
Yeah.
I think the Visage pick is great for 2 reasons.
10 seconds
First,
remaining.
not only do you have the insane burst magical, which allows you to take down the Flame Guard,
5
throughout the
seconds
mid-game, those Familiars are really good at bursting down Ember Spirit, which is going to have a little bit of a tough time surviving. Also, the burst stuns are going to be a decent way to cancel Spirit Breaker charges if you could drop them in the appropriate time. So, it's a Visage that we don't see too often, but hopefully CDEC will make it work. And I haven't seen aggressive ever playing Drow, so I don't think the chances
or
of
Lycan.
that,
Lycan's like the
10
other
seconds
pairing I see
remaining.
pretty frequently with the Visage. It's not typically an aggressive kind of hero. Jug is, and it is an appropriate ban. So
Team
Liquid are on the same page
Liquid's
as you, where they're
turn to
anticipating
pick.
that this will be a Shiki Queen of Pain in the mid lane, or aggressive Queen of Pain in the mid lane. whatever it may be.
Yesterday, CDEC played Slardar for aggressive in most of their games.
True.
Do you feel like that still is a hero that they could go for in this draft?
I would be a bit nervous with the interaction of Slardar with a Clockwork on your team. I always do fear that melee core lineup having a hard time kind of getting into the nitty-gritty of the fight.
Like we saw yesterday when the Ursa was picked into the same lineup as the Clock.
10 seconds remaining.
Could be a bit skeptical there, but I'm sure they have something in mind. I mean, don't get me
5
wrong, Lumi, I'd
seconds
love to see the Drow
remaining.
Visage. It would be a wonderful throwback, and Do they have enough catch to get a hold of the Drow and kind of cut through the enemy line? Spirit Breaker is the only thing that really bounces out to me, but they have a good answer. And even Drow has a good answer. Gush is very nice at being able to keep back the Spirit Breaker. So
I mean, the nice synergy right now is that Visage is going to secure you a ton of mid-game damage. He's going to pick up him down and early. So if you have something like Drow or a Slardar, you could go into the Roshan quite early and take down the Aegis. You are on the dire side. The big question for me is, how is the early game going to go? It is going to be the Slaughter. So good call there, Sheever. My concern is when the Spirit Breaker charges in you and you don't have the Clockwork Cogs at the ready, I feel like this team is pretty squishy. Visage not exactly known for tankiness. Queen of Pain could get picked off. So I think it comes down, as always, with every Team Liquid game is, what is Jurax's role early? Is going to be aggressive. I think he's going to be playing this Spirit Breaker. He's going to be aggressively going for dives, going for roams. To me, the game hinges on Jurax for Team Liquid.
I agree. It's definitely a lineup that they're going to look to go high tempo, create the space for Ember Spirit so he can have his Matumba Man Ember Spirit kind of a game. And it's more pressure on CDEC to kind of be able to withstand that early pressure, and then in the mid game really shine, because the late game is not really there for CDEC. I mean, this goes into the 30+ minute mark.
10
it's
seconds
all on
remaining.
aggressive possibly at that point, so we'll have to see if they're going to be able to get their game. But who do we
5
feel
seconds
here?
remaining.
5-man draft out on the field. Quick predictions as we do have a pause to kind of casually go into it.
Ooh, I think we're gonna see Liquid take this first game. I feel like they have the draft that they are very comfortable with. This is just a typical Liquid lineup, and CDEC, even though they have a lot of their core heroes, I mean, I feel like they have the more difficult plan to execute this time.
I think Liquid's lineup is much more flexible. They could really fight you at any stage of the game. If it goes late, even heroes like Spirit Breaker and Witch Doctor are fine late game supports. They're great early game cores, so I like Liquid's lineup much more.
And I don't think CDC is going to be the team to come out fire. They need this win. They're at the bottom of the group. They're desperate for it, and I think
Better
they're going to
than
be hungry. I think they're going to be hungry for it. So with that said, we're going to go ahead and throw it over to our... All right, never mind. We're going to wait a moment. All right, we're going to go over to the casters right now. Let's throw it over to LD and Winter. Take it away.
Oh, thank you, panel. Winter, welcome back for day 2 of Nanyang. Things are getting intense now. Big match here in Group A, Liquid versus CDEC. Pretty classic draft here for CDEC. Fairly mid-game oriented, up-tempo, not trying to run... they ran the PL at TI5, which I guess is a pretty hard carry, but they didn't play it like one. They played it, fight around that 10 to 20 minute mark and just keep on taking objectives, stay aggressive. Seems like they have a similar idea here.
Yeah, and they have more Roshan capabilities with the Slada, with their lineup, which I agree with Lumi. It's very good synergy with the Visage, so they can actually do a lot of damage with the Visage. They don't really rely on the Slada as a carry to do damage later. The Visage can be a very heavy damage dealer in the team fights later into the game.
Yeah,
but
Q is an excellent Visage player.
But however, I actually fear for them in one matter, which is the cooldowns. They have a lot of cooldowns they need to wait for. They need to wait for the blink, that's number one, and they need to fight around the Sonic Wave. Whereas if you look at Liquid's lineup, they don't really have any specific cooldown that they're going to be fighting around. They're just going to have Iron Shell and Ember and SV, and they just run at you with Razor.
Yeah, and it's a very comfortable draft for Liquid. They've got the Fada Razor. Certainly, that's just something they're used to running. Matumba Man excels on Ember. And who can argue with Darkseer, Spirit Breaker? Double Ion Shell, dive the tower. Now, kind of a tough lineup to really commit to a dive on. You dive into the Crush. Potentially, you get caught by a snowball rotation. So I'm actually feeling like this is one of those games where the Spirit Breaker Darkseer isn't as scary as other drafts, especially once you get to that point where Clock's like level 6. You overextend, or Tusk even rotates in the lane, suddenly you get trapped on the tower. You can easily give up a double kill.
Yeah, but they still have a lot of damage outbursts in the lane, so they still need to be very careful since Visage is very, very weak at level 1. If you get called out, you're just going to die to the Darkseer and SB.
So we are paused here, guys. Seems like Liquid's having a little trouble communicating with each other.
They said
And Dota is a game of teamwork, of
they
course.
said they had
Voice over IP.
voice problems.
Voice problems. They lost their voices. Nanyang stole their voices. The smog.
Are they using like
It took them away.
Are they using TeamSpeak here?
I think they might be. I like the way Valve did it. Hopefully, more tournaments will adopt that with the soundboard.
the soundboard with the you have your own system in the booth, right? You have your own. So I think that's actually much better. But
I agree.
is that more expensive to do?
Yeah, it's definitely more expensive. It's also you also need like the physical setup for it. So it's kind of something you have to plan in advance. Guys, by the way, I know a lot of you are a little bit having some trouble with the game audio. So just keep us posted in chat. If it's too loud, we'll get it adjusted. So we'll take a look at the standings here, Winters. We head into day 1. Of course, not open to the general public today. Everyone's wondering, oh, where's the fans? Nobody's here. Well, today only open to the elite VIPs. So they have a lounge where actually the players and the casters and a lot of other personalities hang out. So they're kind of getting that behind the scenes treatment. But you will see bodies in these seats hopefully tomorrow. But yeah, Group A right now, Winter. LGD sitting on top, 1-1, but they still have to face a lot of the tougher teams of this group. This group is wide open. Fnatic and DC, obviously at this point, tough to see them advancing in top 2, but not out of the question, especially for Fnatic. LG, EOM, and Secret, though, they're the 3 prohibitive favorites going into day 2, which is pretty much what we expected.
I still do think LGD looked really, really shaky though in a few of their games. Even some of the games that they won, it was really shaky. The game they lost, however, were I think mostly attribute to there was the game where they drafted Pugna and they had an offlane ROTK Slada and they didn't help the Slada out and Pugna didn't do much that game.
These are slightly off because Secret won 2 games yesterday, right?
Oh, so
yeah, so I think Secret's actually 2-0.
They didn't calculate the last game from yesterday. This is
it might not be fully updated, but it's definitely still those 3 teams on top. That's the main.
But didn't Fnatic had a tie with Secret yesterday?
Yeah, I think Secret went 2-1. Actually.
So they had a tie for Fnatic, but
guys, these standings are just making sure you're awake. We just our viewers maybe need a little caffeine, so we put the standings up just to test them. Glad to see everybody's alive and well.
This is a trick.
Yeah, it is. It's a trap. So we'll try to get the updated standings for you guys as soon as possible. But still, at this point, how do you feel about? Sorry, I said Group A as well. That's Group B, obviously. But as for Liquid and CDEC, Winter, CDEC had kind of I would say an off day yesterday. They dropped the 1 game versus Mineski. Mineski did play quite well, but still, that is a team that CDEC is supposed to be able to beat if they want to be a 2-1
And the game is mostly in favor of CDEC in the early part, and because CDEC actually overextended in a couple of situations, and they were playing against a bounty hunter. That's why they actually lost that game. They basically threw away a fight, got wiped, 3-4 track kills, and the game just swung to Mineski's favor after that. But they were in control in the early stages of the game. It just felt like, even the second game, which they actually beat Mineski, it felt like they could have also lost that game because they were playing with a lot of mistakes. That it's not something we see commonly from CDEC. CDEC usually is very organized. They are very,
even though they're aggressive, it's controlled aggression. It's very calculated.
They're not like diving, not
like the old Empire or the old VP where they would just YOLO dive crazily, and or Navi may be the best example of that.
They don't really take too much risk, and they only take risk when they have to, when they are behind. They don't really have much choices. In normal situations, they are always the team that goes for the safest play, the play that doesn't really put you in a very bad position if something goes wrong.
Yeah, so for Group B, coming into today, we have a resume. All right,
game.
We'll talk about standings later. Let's talk about Dota for now. Game 1, CDEC versus Liquid. Here we go. CDEC will be on the Dire side, Liquid on the Radiant. We're going to see Jerax early on make his rotation bottom. Will pop down a ward. Keeps on swinging back, so he gets the early vision, and CDEC will be making that aggressive 5-hero rotation into the jungle. And Matumba Man trying to send us a message. Not sure what the message is. Do you speak Matumba Man, Winter?
I heard Matumba Man is a swear word, so I'm pretty sure I don't speak that.
What?
It is a swear word.
You've been swearing a lot lately.
Shiva told me it's a swear word.
Ever since you came to the house.
Yeah, no thanks to bad influence.
Liquid, they do see this coming. They've got the Ion Shell prepped up on Matumba Man. Let's see. CDEC making their move. They get down the magic bush ward. Fada's going to lurch out a little bit, trying to get the initial vision here.
5-hero snowball.
Everybody pile in. 3 coming, but they're going into a trap. Jerax is waiting for this. This could be bad for CDEC. They still try to fight it out. The Cogs are actually pushing Liquid forward. Fada in deep. Gets the first kill. CDEC, they spring the trap. They get the kill anyway. Now Jerax going to go down next to Grezzy with the Gargantuan Crush. These Ion Shells are just not doing enough damage. They have a charge ready. Kuro may be thinking about it, but I don't think he has the necessary firepower. Not very often you see a team get completely scouted on a 5-man and still come out on bottom.
They got the 4-hero crush with that snowball. That's the reason why they
and then they get the 4-hero
get the bounty
back.
rune as well? Are they getting the bounty rune?
1-1.
One apiece. So
but they also got the 4-hero cog back from XZ. Pushed everybody
They
forward.
basically trapped them at the corner there, but it seems like Kuroki is going to pay the price. He's going to try and go... he's going to try to feed to the Roshan, but the cogs there from XZ again. Brilliant placement to prevent the suicide for the Roshan there.
So heroes that got the kills, Aggressive and Q both got a kill. I didn't see who got the first one.
Queen of Pain got bounty rune and Witch Doctor got the bounty rune for Liquid. So Razor did not get the bounty rune. That is something to note.
Yeah, Cheeky kind of had to spend his regen right away, so it's not, that part's not the end of the world, but otherwise, Very bad start here for Liquid.
Yeah, and Queen versus Razor is quite a tough matchup for Queen. Usually you have, usually Queen has a very good time in the lane, but not against Razor. If you're able to break even against Razor just by using your Scream to actually get all the last hits, then you should be fine.
Ah, the 2v2 melee bruisers, but one team has Iron Shell. They're gonna need the backup of
They have
Q.
3 heroes
And
though.
he arrives now. He has a solo shot and charging up quickly. Mind control down to just 10 HP. That Tango saving lives, and he will back away safely. Meanwhile, bottom lane. Big XZ being hounded a bit here. He will make it out.
This is not looking good for CDEC, even though they came out on top with the early trade. The lanes are really not looking good. Like the Darkseer and the Spirit Breaker would actually pose a lot of problems for Aggressive. Aggressive doesn't have a lot of regen left in the lane. This is really bad. They don't even have a Chow for the support right now.
Oh, Jarek, though, he got in too far. He got caught by the cogs of XZ. Ends up giving up a solo kill. The Clockwork with the dual lane.
That somewhat
bit of a blunder.
salvages their early game, because they were losing on the top lane and the middle lane as well. So Clockwork getting a kill there is huge. It's going to help them at least sort of balance out the early game, but they're still not doing too well on the other two lanes. Razor is beating the Queen, and SB and Dux is sort of winning the top lane as well.
Now, historically, CDEC over the past 4 months, I think where they've really excelled is not even necessarily the laning stage, but just their rotations when they break down the lane. So no matter how these lanes go, that will be the big thing I'm keeping an eye on Winter, is where do they go first? Where's that first move? Do they get kills? Can they break up the momentum of Liquid in the lanes?
But this game, I feel like their tempo is slower than Liquid's lineup. Liquid's lineup has a much faster tempo at going to the early fights in the opponent jungle with Spirit Breaker, with Iron Shell on the Darkseer, and then you put it on the SB and the Ember as well. I just feel like Liquid is much ready to fight earlier than the CDEC timing this game.
CDEC don't take very long to come online, though.
Yeah, but
XZ's getting a fast level 6.
I feel like the dagger from Aggressive would come slower. It's not going to be like a free farm Slardar.
But they have other initiators, though. They have Snowball, they have Hookshot. Like, they don't have to start with the Slardar, right?
Yeah, agreed. But ideally, they want the Slardar to rotate so the Visage can actually take the lane.
That's true.
That's what they want.
That's going to be tricky, though, against the Darkseer. Definitely not going to be easy, as Liquid trying to get a little extra off the map. Look at this. Mind control. Looking to steal some enemy neutrals.
Yeah, and Shiki's going for the 2 levels.
Nice one.
Yeah, Shiki went for 2 points in Shadow Strike as well. I didn't really expect this build for the Queen against Razor.
Oh, it might work out here, though. Fada very low. There's a blink in 3 seconds.
Nah,
Fada had no regen.
he doesn't have enough damage there.
He didn't have the blink and the scream, unfortunately.
Yeah, he didn't have enough mana for Blink Scream, and it was just
It's only a level 1 scream.
so he's not going to get a kill anyways.
So the build on Fada, he is leveling up statically. He takes that point on Unstable Current, and that definitely is going to discourage the use of Shadow Strike if you
I don't think he's discouraged though. If you're discouraged, you don't get 2 points in Shadow Strike.
Well, when he sees how much damage and harassment he's taking, maybe he'll feel discouraged. Now it seems to be working out okay. A little bash onto aggressive top lane, but Hiroki getting a lot out of this lane. He definitely feels like he needs some regen here. 18 and 4 though, still CSing quite well, all things considered.
And Garda is making his rotation all the way to bottom, but it's going to get spotted out by Jarek, so they know that that's 1 hero less at top. So we might actually see an aggressive move on Liquid right now at top lane, since there's 1 hero less right now.
Aggressive got his bottle. Got it. At this point, a tough takedown. See double damage.
Yeah, he has no choice though. Usually you don't want to get a bottle on the Slardar on the first place. You just want to maybe get
17% up onto the cliff. Q. That would be a sad time for a Visage. Shiki makes the rotation into. What's happening bottom lane? The engagement breaks out. They went in with the snowball, but the cast was waiting for this. Doma Tumbaman dropping quickly, pulled into the cogs. Who goes down first? He sticks up and will survive. Ultimately falls, but XZ. That's the next man down.
That was a Maledict on 2 heroes as well. That was
Fortunately for CDEC, only level 1, or that could have been a lot worse.
yeah, and he didn't really get too lucky with the coconut bounces as well. He didn't get too many bounces on the heroes, but they still had enough damage between the Flame Guard plus the level 1 Maledict to at least get a kill in return.
I think they're okay with it though. Killing the Ember at this point when
no,
he's had
top lane.
free farm. Definitely want to slow that down. He will get charged. The Iron Shell going to work, and down he goes. Liquid finding
And
and
I just
isolating those
I can't
squishies.
see this lane working for the Slardar and Visage if it's only 2 heroes versus the Darkseer and Spirit Breaker. I feel like Garda has to be helping a little more. Because if you look at priorities, what is the most important item you need?
Slardar Blink.
Yeah, the Slardar Blink.
Yeah.
So you need to prioritize by having him get a good start. So I feel like Garda has to be helping the top lane more.
Perhaps as soon as they get level 6 on XZ, CDEC will change up the formula and have him be the one that rotates.
It's still possible. If the rotations were successful with the Clockwork lane, you help the Clockwork get a faster level 6, then the Clockwork can actually help compensate the fact that the Slardar doesn't have free farm in the lane. So I could see that happening for them.
They want to make a go here, but Smart are a tough one to take down.
They want to kill mid as well because they just popped level 6 on the Queen. And they want to have first Sonic Wave on the Razor. That would be a really big kill for them as well because Razor
Q has been scouted here though.
Razor is falling
Vada's
behind
got
in
the
terms
hell
of
ward.
CS though against the Queen.
That's not normally
Huh.
what happens in this matchup.
No.
And there hasn't really been pressure on bottom. Plus was bottom. I guess he's been off the map a little
Yeah.
bit. Uh-oh. Kuroki. The Reaper Snowball is going to interrupt the charge away. Good effort, but it's a level 5 hero going down.
And
That is a ton of experience to be giving
it's still a
CDEC.
4-hero rotation, so it's a lot of effort for CDEC to at least secure
Dire's
that kill.
top tower is under
And it's a
attack.
support, even though it's level 5. It's not the end of the world for them. It gives away a lot of experience because Kuro is very high level for a support right now, but it's still a support, so I think they're not too worried about that. And right now, I think the reason why the Razor failed the hand because was the task he was missing. He went bottom,
Yeah.
and then he went into the fog for quite some time, so Mata was actually very scared. in the middle.
Matamba Man, he is level 6 now, but the snowball's coming through the tree line. He's going to get stunned by the hook shot. Do they have the follow-up, though? Can they lock him down? Charge
the
coming out.
shots!
Great grab there. Then the follow-up soul substitute. Another remnant back. Matamba Man will retreat. And now Fada arrives. Coconut. He's going to down. Still smoke liquid, but they still grab
Mango
Q. They're
play.
charging onto XZ. In danger now. Maledict, as well as the charge. Going to connect. Cogs were
Oh, here
available.
comes the
Didn't get
TPs.
them off in time.
Oh my god, the dive.
In danger. Perhaps Jarek has gone into team. One more auto tech will finish the job. And they hunt for additional kills. XC on the chase. Kuroki charge cooling down. So battery salt is about to wear off. So it looks like he might
He
just
should
get
be
out
fine
of
though.
here.
He can charge
Run,
out.
Kuroki! Run, my man! No, he's chills. He waits. The snowball comes in. The crush about to get there. He charges through 4! Running! But not from the sprint lord. One more slap and they will finish him off.
Space created again.
5 heroes on the rotation there.
Yeah. Space created, I presume again from Kuroki, making enough time, making more time and farm for his team. But at the end of the day,
CDEC are actually winning here,
yes,
Winter.
Sala
They're
got
up.
Sala
They're
got
up
the last hit.
1,200 net worth.
Sala got the last hit, so
Dire's
it's actually
top
going to put
tower
him in
is
a
under
good spot
attack.
for speeding up the dagger. Oh, he's actually completing the power check instead of going for straight up dagger.
Are feeling a little bit underleveled on these supports though. Level 3 on the Tusk. Spent a lot of time roaming Garter has, with not quite as many kills as what we're used to seeing. And I think level 4 and Q's misses.
They still have their Sonic Wave available for an upcoming fight.
That's a good one.
So I think they are still gonna extend their lead because whenever you use the Sonic Wave, then someone's gonna go down unless you whiff it. Oh, Jarex is gonna get caught by XD here with a hook shot. Oh, easy kill.
Johnson will get sniped. Good grab.
And
for
by
XD.
the way, that's why you get mangoes from safe lane carries because the mango there actually
Let
allowed
him get the extra.
Matamba Man to get another round. So he was able to survive thanks to that mango.
It's like almost every hero we see right now is some sort of nuke or fight changing ability, whether it's like a PL with the Lance, although he's fallen out of popularity, or
I think in general,
your
safe laners,
gyrocopter nukes.
you probably always want to have at least one mango with you.
I would agree.
The passive regen is just really good. It's not only about the mana it gives you.
But why settle for one?
Dude, the game yesterday, Secret versus Fnatic, they started out with 2 mangoes on Envy on his safe lane Wind Ranger.
Did it work?
They lost that game. But it wasn't
But
the
would you blame the
You
mangoes
can't
for
blame
the
the
loss?
mango, dude. You can never blame the mango.
Marlini will not be pleased if you try to blame the mango. No. Blame the user.
No,
They still have not rotated the quap ult yet. When do you think Shiki's going to make his move? Or is he just
I think
waiting
he's
for
very,
Liquid to die?
he's very reactionary right now. He's just waiting for the Spirit Breaker to charge on the other lane to try and make a play, and he's gonna be ready with his TP rotation.
But Liquid don't seem like they're in any hurry to make their own rotations. They're content leaving Matamba Man bottom, free farming, absolutely uncontested, 66 CS, up on a Queen of Pain and a Clockwork who have not died and collectively are 5-0 and 8.
They think they're ready to make a
5-0
move
and
right
7.
now. Jarex is smoking up Fata as well. Maybe Fata doesn't want to go. He still wants to push out the middle lane because it would be really obvious. But Jarex has a ward here, so whether he places them in a deep position, we'll see.
Shiki does get charged. That's quickly cancelled as Fana will snag his bounty rune.
They have a really deep ward here
Yes.
already earlier. So maybe Jarex doesn't want to place another ward in the jungle. He's just saving it for another spot.
This is the rotation you mentioned. Liquid seems like they want to group up a bit. 3 heroes now in the top lane as Jerax just YOLOs up, gets the ward down. In vision of CDEC. Saw this from their own lane wards. They know there's 3 here. And Shiki's probably just itching.
I think he was able to bypass the ward. No? Wasn't he like smoke when he arrived?
Oh, maybe he was.
Yeah, he was
When
still
I
smoke.
clicked on him, he wasn't.
It was
That
at
probably
the-
makes more
it
sense
was
because
at
it was
the
a
end of
pretty
the-
YOLO move.
Yeah, it was
No.
the end of the duration of the smoke, but they do spot all 3 heroes right now until Jerax runs into the lane.
But
and
seems like
they'll see-
Liquid is reading this well. They're not trying to force it. They know that they have the Ember. They've got the best late game carry, and there's no need to force
Oh,
it.
Witch Doctor is gonna get caught. Good scout by actually the Turtle.
Grab XP. The plays here for CDEC is does so often. Kuroki's gonna charge through, connects, but Kuroki may be a bit too far. Back up to come for the Queen Fate. No, the tower's actually down now.
Oh, the
Unfortunately,
shards
Radiant
actually
gets the
saving
tower.
him. Oh my god, that was close. He actually didn't realize the shards were blocking him. Otherwise, if he TP'd right away, he would have actually
They're not
managed
done.
to get out.
The Tumberman also on the hunt. Garter being pursued down. Looks like Garter too may immolate down. Tumberman grabbing that second kill, and that gets him very close to his boots of travel. The Radiant Creep's got the tower. If that tower's up, that's a very different fight. Then you see the Quap TPN, but instead CDEC, they're gonna opt for a little split push
Yeah,
here.
right now we see the classic move from Matumbaman as well. He always goes to the enemy jungle. Bottom lane, they're gonna take a fight here. Mind control is there. He's gonna get amped up and he's gonna run out
One
of
crush.
surge.
It only takes one. There's the crush. God, that damage. That's enormous. And with that kill,
Man, this
Bottom
Surge
tower
plus
is under attack.
amplified damage is
really scary.
really, really scary.
And
It's just
Q's
11
done a good
minutes.
job at keeping his levels up. He had a slow start. Already level 7 now with that kill.
I think they can go for Roshan fairly soon. Maybe he has almost enough gold for a medallion if
Dyer's
he
middle
wishes to go for
tower
it.
is under
Well,
attack.
they better. Matumba Man just picked up his BOTs. And Liquid are starting to occupy this dire jungle. Moving in aggressively. Still yet to see a Queen of Pain ult.
Yep.
12 minutes.
Radiant's
That is
bottom
actually
tower
quite
is
surprising.
under
Usually
attack.
teams are always just very in a much more aggressive position whenever they have the Sonic Wave up. But this game, it's again the factor of the gun. You don't really take out the game. Go in, here comes the Queen keeping. You'll see a first Sonic Wave of the game right here.
Didn't get off any spells. He's still going to commit for it. Chasing on the Kroki. Gets the kill with
He has the haste now. He's gonna be
Finally
able
with the
to
rotation.
get out
Matumba Man
scot-free.
will TP out aggressive though. On the hunt.
I don't think they can chase Fata because there's a remnant there. If they overcommit for this, the Ember Spirit will come back and might be
Destroy them, yeah.
really bad for CDEC.
That was close. If the clock gets off his spells there, if he just has a little more HP, I think that's a very different fight. But Liquid playing all these fights to the limit
And he was really
managing
close.
to come out on top.
He was really close with Blade Mail as well, so that was a key kill for Liquid. The early Blade Mail could actually wreck someone like an Ember or even wreck like the Razor's ultimate, for example, or the Iron Shell. So the early Blade Mail this game could actually do a lot of work
Radiant's
for
middle tower is
CDEC.
under
It's
attack.
still going to be a fast one as
Ah,
CDC.
Roshan, let's go. Medallion.
CDEC on the move. Medallion into the pit. Roshan will be the
I
choice.
think they saw it, right? He was charging him. Did they actually see the smoke?
I didn't see anyone
He was
getting charged.
charging him.
Who? Which one?
Wasn't paying attention. I know he was charging towards that direction.
Are you sure he wasn't charging a lane? You saw it on a hero?
He was here though. I didn't see who he was charging, but he was like running this
Okay.
direction. Can you see me drawing?
They don't seem to know.
Maybe not.
Yeah, I do see your arrow now.
So it's
Fortunate
gonna,
because, man, imagine if Ember just showed up right now. That's 2 free kills, basically. He's going to
Okay.
try to jump in. He throws out the Remnant. Is he going to
Oh.
commit for this?
Oh,
On top of him! He gets the last hit, but not the Aegis. And now he's in pretty far. Does he have a Remnant to get out? Yes, he does. Better use it. Kuroki committing next on the list. Amp stunned. Where's that Nether Strike? Who's the Bash Lord now?
Wolf though.
Locks him down. And Matumba, oh, not worth.
Okay.
Definitely not worth with that. The Ember falling. Mind control. Also being pursued out. Cheeky
He
does
might
not
be
have
in
his ultimate.
trouble. He might be in trouble if they actually
There's a
chase
tier
him
1,
down.
but honestly, I think they can dive this. CDEC have the birds. They can give them a bit of extra vision.
Oh, they don't
Oh,
see
they
him.
didn't see him.
They didn't see him going into the tree.
He has a TP as well.
Dyer's structures
They don't get the tower
So
either.
that
Liquid going to
was-
be denied there too.
That was at the end really good for CDEC when they got
If
the
the
kill.
Ember lives, that's a win for Liquid. But with the death of the Ember, I agree. I think CDEC come out on top there.
is under
And here comes the Blade Mail on the Clockwork out of the engagement as well. So he's going to have a lot of solo kill potential, especially against the Razor. You basically can hook into the Razor and the Razor can't do anything to you.
Yeah.
He
Nice double damage ring.
can't even
bottom.
pop his ultimate.
That's actually devastating. In fact, XZ, if he had a hook, might be going for now. Kuroki. Ooh,
He was charging Shiki.
Dyer's
deep
middle
charge.
tower is under attack.
No way he's catching him. And so Winter, now we move into the mid game. CDEC, an Aegis richer, though it was snatched. Gold, very close to even here. Ember, overall, still having a pretty explosive performance, as
Yeah.
is Fada.
Aggressive is going to have his dagger soon.
So
So
CDEC having the more balanced lineup with more farm on their secondary cores and supports.
And I would say that they have much more reliable initiation right now with the dagger from the Slada and the hook shot. So I feel like CDEC can actually be more initiative in taking team fights, and they're in more control as well because they can choose the team fights they are taking. Whereas if you look at Liquid, they can't really decide whether they want to take a fight with the charge alone. It's not as reliable as a hook shot or a blink from Sada. So I feel like Liquid has to be more ready for the aggression coming from CDEC in the next few minutes. They need to at least position their Witch Doctor, you know, like
and
get
that is
a
a weakness of the Liquid draft. They have no reliable mid-game initiation. Your Spirit Breaker charges in. We saw Snowball can interrupt it.
BKB.
You could blink away. You can hook into him. You can drop the cogs. Like there's a lot of ways to frustrate a Spirit Breaker. Whereas for CDEC, almost all of their initiation is basically unstoppable.
I mean, you can consider the chain, the slight chains as a reliable initiation.
Kind of.
Yeah, but it's not as reliable as a hook shot or even a blink crush.
But you go and chains the Slardar and jump him, and you may regret it.
But they still have a lot of ways, like to even if you get jump, you have ways to counter initiate with the Witch Doctor or the charge from SV. So I think Liquid are more happy to be actually reactionary rather than just trying to jump in and trying to make a first move.
And they're also the team with the Ember Darks here. Like they're the team that's happy if this turns into a farm war.
Yep, I agree.
Kuroky, deep charge, gonna be cancelled. There's no glyph available.
But
See
here
though,
comes
moving
the
into
backup.
position. He wants that hook. He's gonna find Fada. Blade Mail is activated. Fada trying his best to fight this way out of this one. The cogs are gonna be his doom. XC gets 2, make it 3 as Q follows up, blaze into Kuroky. It's probably 4. It is CDEC smashing the crap out of Liquid in that fight. The lone survivor, Matumba Man, and he's not gonna be safe for long. He needs to back up. And by the way, aggressive blink cooling down. He's ready to go. There's no BOTs. Is he going to find him? Yo! Close call. He's still hunting Matumba Man. Oh, sprint going to wear off soon. He can get the amp out, though.
He might still die here. The sprint is coming off cooldown.
Sprints up, blinks up.
Nah, he's not
No,
going to
they're
chase.
not
There's still a
gonna
tier
chance it.
1.
Heroes are
There's
respawning.
still a tier 1 there. So not going to be able to chase. But at the end of the day, we saw how CDEC is really strong right now with the blink from Slada. And obviously the hook shot started the fight, which was like the Razor can't do anything against the blade mail.
He popped his ult, and it was like, oh god.
I'm dying
I immediately
faster.
regret my decision.
I'm dying faster actually with the ultimate.
They even got the mech off for mind control. It just didn't matter.
They need to somehow, I think, get more farm on the Razor. If Razor can stand in front, then maybe they can actually take the fight. But as of now, I feel like Razor cannot stand up in front to actually tank the damage without a
Scouted
BKB.
mind control.
The Razor-
Familiars
the
are
Razor
swinging
needs
into
a BKB
position.
this game.
They've got the vision now. Ward's going to scout him out. XC with the hook available. Trying to make sure. Doesn't want to dive the tier 1.
It's a level 1
or
hook.
tier 2.
I think with the level 2 hook, he probably would have gone for it because he has the longer.
It may have been a little bit risky though. The tier 2 still up. Embers, BOTs. Actually, they were cooling down. So yeah, maybe he could have gone for it.
Yep, but it's a much safer play to obviously go with your team just to make sure you secure the tier 1. And right now, Shiki has his Orchid completed. 18 minutes, not too shabby. Still good
Ember
timing.
Spirit. Matumba Man has not spent any gold yet. Do you chance the Battle Fury Rush or do you have to go into the Manta here?
Manta is really good though, not only for the Orchid, for the Slada as well. So he might actually go for that. There's a lot of value for the Manta style in this game.
Well, if he wants it, he can start
And
building
it also
towards
allows
right
you
now.
to dodge and remove the slow from the Visage. There's just a lot of applications for the Manta style in this game. But he might still go back for the Battle Fury because they need the Ember to be strong this game to be able to dish out damage. Focus a lot, and he's just going to be acting as a tank in the team fights mostly. And see that makes a smoke rotation, drops a ward, tries to get a better position
this
here.
Could be bad for Liquid. Fada getting surged in.
Oh,
Gonna
here
try
comes
to
the
come
wrap
in for
around.
this. The backup
The
might be
burst!
there. Gets the tower not denied. And now the snowball onto Fada. Deep dive by Garter to start things off here. The cast bouncy. They turn it with the Death Ward a bit. Fada will tank the Queen of Pain ultimate. Kuroky's in the middle of the entire enemy squad. Punched up and down. Still healthy. And Matumba on the chase. Try to isolate aggressive. Focus him down a bit with the Ion Shell. Doing additional damage. Crush will come out. Nobody able to get the kills yet. Fada now chasing out the Garter, who will just TP away. Cask says no. For a final,
that
someone dies. Jesus.
Top as well. Aggressive might actually get chased down here.
Looks like he'll be okay. Shiki, perhaps not so lucky, finally goes with the Orchid. Blinks out on a shred of HP. 10 spends his gold, while Familiars even want to get into the fray. But it seems Liquid in the end will rebuff the CDEC assault. No, Kuroky.
That was what we were talking
He's
about.
going for it. Going deep.
That's a clockwork around there.
He second guesses it.
Yep. That was what we were talking about. Liquid wants to be reacting to the initiation. CDEC ran in, made a jump, but they were not with 5 heroes, they were with 4 heroes. But they had the familiars from the research. But
And it wasn't a very good
they just
initiation.
went in too deep, and the Sonic Wave was also on 1 hero.
The Snowball was on 1 hero. The Sonic Wave was on 1. The Slardar didn't get in the fight right away. It just wasn't the best initiation for
I think
CDEC.
ideally you want to also focus down the Witch Doctor first because he's going to be able to dish out a lot of damage with maybe you save a familiar stun just to cancel the Death Ward. that should be something that CDEC look to achieve in the team fights. I think the Witch Doctor could be like a hero that dishes so much damage that allows Liquid to actually take the fight. So
Other
they
thing was
have to
Quap
be really
didn't find
careful.
the Ember. Like, Matumba Man wasn't threatened at all that battle. Never got the Orchid off until the very end.
Yeah, that's why I felt like if they are actually making a first move and it's on the Razor, right? Then the Liquid's heroes are able to react and actually position themselves better
That's
towards
what they
the fight.
want. They want the Razor to tank. That's like the whole idea of the hero.
And middle lane,
Cheeky mid lane, he does silence Matumba Man, but it's after the combination has come out, and Cheeky, almost got the
this
blink
time.
off. We'll go down the cast now, connect the
Oh,
Q.
Q
They've
might
got to
just
follow
go down
Bane.
as well.
They're going to lose the vicinity. Well, potentially, the death won't even committed for this. He's got a solo substitute. This is going to hurt.
Oh my
Bought a trap.
God.
Good turnaround here from XZ. Solo substitute gets the kill.
that two-man
Can
crush from
Matumba Man
aggressive
get out?
as well, breaking the fight
Aggressive,
apart.
looking, jumping here, there. Matumba Man just wants to get the hell away. So too does Kuroki. Even the courier gets involved in the battle. It will escape. Kuro continues galloping away towards the top lane. Madness, Winter. Absolute madness.
If only the Queen survived, that would have been perfect for CDEC, but they still got off to a better trade, 1 for 2. The Razor plus Witch Doctor has a return kills. That was just thanks to the counter initiation this time from Aggressive and the Clockwork from XZ hooking in to actually get the return kills
Radiant's top
after the
tower
Queen of Pain
is
going
under
down.
attack.
Well, I do like this from Aggressive. He goes back for the Midas here. The way the game's developing, it doesn't feel like this is ended anytime soon, and we have seen Slardar, if they don't get a Midas, really tend to fall off.
Yeah, I
later.
think I like the pickup of the Midas here. It's just very common, like the Viper getting a Midas after a mech. They don't really intend to end the game anytime soon. It's all about getting the Roche control, getting map control later. They don't really push that fast until with such as Aghanims. So the Midas would allow the Slardar to be much more relevant in the late game. Because this game is at least going for another 15-20 minutes, at least.
Yeah, and you imagine a Slardar, you know, at like 40 minutes in with an AC, BKB, maybe an armlet if he's having a good game, or the makings of some other big tank item. That hero hurts.
Armlet is probably if you're far behind, I guess you go for it. If you're ahead, maybe you want to go for all the big items like AC or
Like
heart
Heart instead,
as
maybe.
well. Yeah, you want to just tank up.
Slardar is a beast when he gets those items. Like, even a farmed Ember is definitely not going to want to try to fight him.
Yeah,
head-on.
he is very good at man fighting. Ember cannot man fight a Slardar.
I mean, have you seen this thing? Jesus. Don't mess with him. This is like Aggressive in real life. He's a scary looking guy, man. You know, he's intense. They're going to make their move now.
Hook shot.
CDEC smoked
Let's see
up,
it,
getting
the hook
aggressive. They
shot.
hook. It's onto Kuroki. Not the ideal target, but hey, it's something off the bat. And now Jarek's caught out on the back
Oh
of the
my
lane.
God,
The top bolt didn't
he
quite
missed
connect on
the
him. It only hit
pop
Kuroki. It's just going to cost CDEC
Oh
now. They
my
get the first
God.
kill. They back up. Matumba Man's there to cut off the retreating hero. Shiki has found another kill on the back line to the fight as Mind Control's finished up, but it's only the 2 supports down, and they have lost their core Clockwork. Shiki waiting for the blink, and he is going to jump up to the high ground. Will retreat out
I think
successfully.
that actually cost them the fight. Though.
3
He-
for 3.
He landed the Sonic Wave just on one hero again. He wanted to actually hit the targets behind, but
Dire's
he was
middle
just
tower
too
is
far,
under attack.
and he casted the Sonic Wave way too early.
If he hits the Witch Doctor dies instantly. There.
Yeah, then
Instead,
they would-
had to waste a lot of time.
They would have
fighting.
been able to maybe even get one more kill or got out. Like maybe one guy would die, like the Clockwork would die still, but the Visage would definitely not die.
And that was right before these items, Winter. Now Matumba Man has Battle Fury. Now Darkseer, Mind Control has a Blink. These are big pickups to turn the upcoming fights.
They need the BKB on the Queen as well, though, so she doesn't get focused on. Like right now, if she gets chains by the Ember, she's more or less going to die in the fight.
And I feel
straight
like
away.
that is a really big issue. It's also not because she might die, but she's playing like she might die. She's not... Like, Shiki could be more aggressive with his movements to get a better ult,
Yeah.
but he's afraid of dying.
Yeah, I
that's
agree.
where the
I agree.
BKB
That's why he
helps.
needs the BKB ASAP.
Oh, they might find Kuroki here, though. Silence to start. Maybe one bash is all that's required. Yeah, there you go. Just for good measure.
Oh no, they see Jirax with the ward. He might actually go down as well. Aggressive is just going to hunt him down.
He has a TP.
This is going to be dead if he doesn't TP.
Blink,
Blink
Crush. Just too late.
Oh, he guessed wrong.
He thought he was going to TP here. That's just one of those basically 50-50 guessing games.
There's 3 spots, right? It's not exactly
I guess.
50-50. Either here,
You could go down here.
here, or here. So it's 3 spots. But 33%. Sounds...
Yeah, but they saw him moving up into the trees, so it's unlikely he's going to move up and then run back down.
I guess so. So 50-50.
Anyway, he guessed he missed. That's what counts.
So Roshan is going to be up. That will be on CDEC's menu once more since they have the much superior Roche taking lineup. And Liquid are just going to hope that they maybe try to contest at appropriate timing or try to just make the most by split pushing. The last time, they got the last hit with Matumba Man stealing the last hit on Roshan, but they didn't get the Aegis. And Matumba Man went down for that.
Radiant's top
So they would
tower
be
is
hoping
under
for a much
attack.
better trade this time.
And who are you favoring in these upcoming Roche fights? Both
Oh,
teams feels like they have a lot of good abilities around the
I
field.
actually think that both teams can win the team fight if you get a good initiation. Like, initiation is key. If Darkseer gets a 3-hero vacuum into the cliff during the Rocha, and you drop a wall on top of that, obviously they're going to win the fight. But if CDEC gets a jump with a hook shot or a Stada Crush, then CDEC blows someone up with the Sonic Wave, then CDEC will win the fight. So it's all about vision control and getting the jump. Who gets the first move?
Remnant down in the pit. Matumba Man already thinking about the big old rock dude. They know that Aegis will be ever so important in the upcoming fights.
And CDEC has much better vision, like honestly, with the birds, the familiars, plus obviously the sigil. So they have a lot of potential to make a good initiation by having the vision as well from the broadcast there. They have multiple ways of actually scouting and getting vision. But for Liquid, they are going to be relying on the Remnant or the charge from SG to get vision so they can actually decide whether they should take the fight. So I feel like CDEC has much more options in terms of visibility, map control, and determining whether they should take the initiation or not.
And they're getting farm on everyone here. We're seeing Q on the Visage halfway and then some
he
to
have
his
it?
Ags. Doing pretty well. Aggressive BKB of his own, almost complete.
He needs 2 more pieces, right?
They're 2 pieces away on the Visage, but he's got like half of the third, so 1.5 pieces to go.
So the BKB on the Queen, which is crucial.
And they're going to double BKB.
And Queen is going to be level...
Slaughter has one as well.
Yeah, Queen is going to be level 16. They have double BKBs soon.
Yeah, I think this to me feels like a big power peak for
I
CDEC.
feel that point, it's like more or less a Roshan contest is pretty hard from Liquid once they have double BKBs on Slada and Queen.
Yeah, this is definitely a window of the game where Liquid, if they see those items, safer play is just maybe you try to contest the Roche, but more importantly, you just want to be farming right now. Your Ember Spirit is starting to pull ahead.
I think Razor probably needs a BKB as well this game. Oh, okay, he got a BKB. Oh, so let's go. He has 4k. He just purchased his BKB. If you want to fight as well, this is like their peak timing as well with the BKB from the Razor.
And this time they have dewarded Liquid on the hunt. Matumba Man will lead the charge.
They have 3 Observer Wards on JRX as well.
No Remnant sitting around
not
right
JRX.
now,
On Kuroki, he needs to place some of the wards to give them vision. He's gonna try.
Gamble for it.
Oh, okay.
He
He
only
didn't
sees
break the
familiars.
smoke. This is worth it. He needs the vision to be able to understand the severity of the situation, whether they should initiate or whether they should just wait. So that ward was crucial for them to at least get the ward down. He's gonna try and get another ward down on the cliff, but there's a sentry there. So they should be scouting that out very soon with the familiars. Okay, so they're gonna get the D-ward.
On the high ground, Shiki just doing a little ancient farming from the safety of the cliff. Aggressive. Want this BKB.
Does he have it?
He's
now?
got it in like 1 creep. There you
Okay.
go.
This is like they want
Double
to fight.
BKB now for
They
CDEC.
smoke and fight this, I guess.
Only thing they don't have, which is coming soon, is the Ags from the Visage. But with Roche up now, they don't want to
Do
win.
they have a smoke on the career? No, no smoke.
They should
So
be able to buy one though.
no, there's actually no smokes available for another 3
Really?
minutes.
3
For
minutes.
CDEC.
At the same time, Liquid below theirs, they got the ward up, but
Yeah, at least they got the
That's
ward
it.
out. I think the ward was super crucial. Otherwise, it's like so difficult for them to try and contest the Roshan. It's super impossible if you don't have vision.
something CDEC maybe could anticipate in D-ward is they see Matumba Man chains up the hill and they're like, okay,
Yeah,
this is ward.
you probably know that there's ward after that.
That's I'm not sure that's worth it, to be honest.
Are fortified.
Yeah, I think to a certain extent, you actually do not want them to know that there is a ward there, because the next fight is going to happen around the Roche area, and you don't want them to actually dewarding that. So we'll see how things plays out. And Jerax seems like he's gonna get caught.
Bottom tower.
Down in the river, Jerax getting pounded by the amp damage familiars. It's almost a free kill though. Q also drops low. They managed to heal him up. The Voodoo Restoration going to work together.
Oh, the crush is
the
coming
Razor.
soon. Sala's
Get
looking for
ready.
initiation.
Aggressive. He sees blood. He sees opportunity. He'll crush only Jerax, but he does almost get the kill. No! Krogi says, leave my buddy alone. He tries to protect him. The quapple rages through, but Shiki doesn't really have the firepower to follow this up. And with the Slar Dart down and Fana BKB'd, too much stolen damage. They have to run. Garter cut next. Liquid finding the openings. Boop, boop. All over the place. Matumba Man hunting for Q. No buyback on the Slar Dart. They're going to lose the Tusk. They may lose more. Matumba, another searing chains available. He gets the grab. He'll get the kill as well. XZ limping away to safety.
He missed the hook shot as well in the team fight, so the initiation from CDEC wasn't good enough this game. They
One hero crush, missed hook shot,
didn't kill the
didn't burst the
Witch Doctor right away.
Witch Doctor down. It wasn't a great
The
fight.
Sonic Wave was really good this time, but it was just the lacking of the hook shot, and Visage didn't really do a lot in the fight as well because he got targeted down. Tusk didn't really do much as well, so I feel like CDEC just didn't take a good fight there. it didn't really show their advantage of having the double BKB. Mata's gonna get hook shot. His BKB is still on cooldown for 25 seconds.
Frankie though, Cheeky getting backed. Alright, that's close. Wow, that's pretty big.
She is like the top of the net worth after that
Dire's bottom
exchange.
tower is under attack.
So he's still the top of net worth right now.
What a
but
game. Just look at the graph. Never been more than a 1250 gold lead.
it's a very even game.
31
overall.
minutes.
And
Never more than a
CDEC
2900 experience
needs
lead.
this Roshan right now because their heroes are just gonna be a lot difficult to deal with the Ember later into the game, so they need to have some sort of advantage going into the ultra late game. Otherwise, Ember is gonna be difficult to deal with. I mean, you have the Blink Crush, but it's not as reliable as a Hex. I think you need to get a Hex from the team at some stage against the Ember. They don't really have heroes that can actually catch the Ember very well. They have to compensate it with getting items.
Well, for now, I guess it will be the Assault Cuirass. This frees up your Slardar to go for more of a tank item, perhaps that heart.
Who went for the AC?
Quap, she's getting.
Oh, Cobb is getting
Hyperstone.
AC.
So it lets Slardar just be like super tanky.
Yeah,
I guess, 'cause he
I
can
think
skip
it's still a good team item, but I feel like at some stage you have to get a Hex on the Queen this game for the Ember.
Yeah, I would agree.
And
They
you,
have. I mean, they do. Tuss also doesn't have a blink though. That doesn't help.
but then you could also argue that AC, then King could have gone for the Hex.
Yeah.
There's a lot of heroes
Well,
that can build
he's
the
not
AC.
farming though. He doesn't even have eggs yet.
Does he have it soon?
He's really fallen off
Boy.
after that last fight.
I thought he had this item
Same
since
amount of
like
same
10
amount of
minutes
gold
ago.
he had like 5-6 minutes ago.
Yeah, around 10 minutes ago he had this item.
Is under attack.
So right
10
now,
minutes,
right now,
Yeah, it was
maybe
fun.
not 10, but it was a long time.
A long time
It
ago
was a
in a
long
galaxy
time.
far, far.
In the galaxy far, far away. There
I'm
was
excited for Star Wars.
there was
this
an AOE
December.
2000 Visage that has AC, Heart. Okay, maybe not Heart. AC Agonist.
I remember that Come With Me had a crazy usage game once.
Isn't like AOE the guy that has the record for the most farm Visage?
I'm not sure. Oh, Kuroki. I know you want to dive, but that's really pushing it.
Razor is also going for AC, I guess. AC is much better this game. Like sometimes you see Shivas on Razor, but this game probably AC has much more value because of the minus armor. You want to get Vlads as well, like on I think ideally the SB. SB should probably be the hero to actually build the Vlads for the whole team against the Slardar. I think it's a really good pickup for them. If they can actually get it on Kuroki. He's probably gonna finish his Solar Crest first, then decide whether he wants to go for like a Vlads. I think as SB you just be the buffer this game. You run in your tank, you provide aura, you give your team lifesteal, job done.
Yeah, you let the damage come from elsewhere. And the thing is, if CDEC are the ones jumping in, then you don't really need lockdown. Like they committed to that last fight super hard.
And it's also better for the Darks here if you are actually getting jumped, so the Darks can actually get a better vacuum wall in compared to if you are actually initiating with the Darks here.
Maybe it's well, there's a plate mail on Slardar. Maybe Quap
Well-
is going Mjolnir?
That would be surprising though.
Moon Shards Quap?
Radiant's top tower is under
Seriously?
No, I'm kidding. Or maybe it's even a Shiva's on the Slardar.
I kind of feel like Lotus Orb on Slardar doesn't make much sense.
Yeah, what do you Lotus Orb?
Oh, here we go. Vacuum
Charge.
into double man
Fine
charge.
Q off the bat, he gets back into the wall. The familiar stun still hit everything. At least securing the retreat. Too bad the team wasn't ready to fight. They'd already backed off. Pretty sick though.
He's gonna lose his familiar, so that
boy.
sucks for him.
More importantly, oh, okay, he did buy the component winter. He's finally got component number 3. Granted, extremely late, and you are versus an Ember with a Daedalus now, but at least he's getting there.
Yeah, I'm still trying to figure out what are they actually gonna do with the plate mail on the Slardar. Queen should be going AC unless it's a Mjolnir, which is weird.
I feel like it's, yeah, it's just weird
Moonshot
and
is
it's
also
kinda-
weird.
it's-
Moonshot is also weird on Queen here.
Oh, that's like the least likely option by far.
But they don't really need to clear any illusions. Usually you go for that if you are up against an illusion based hero. So I'm not.
It's probably aggressive wanted to go AC. Saw his Quap at a Hyperstone. Is like, well, I need more armor. I'll get a Shiva's, or I guess maybe a Lotus Orb. What do you Lotus Orb?
Shivas is actually not even too bad on Slardar. It doesn't feel too bad because you're jumping,
the
you're
mana's
initiating.
not really that useful, but other than that, it's not bad.
Yeah, it's not bad, but it's just uncommon because you always have better heroes to build the item. Most of the time, anyways. But it's still pretty weird. So they're gonna have, I assume, an AC on Queen, and Salah just has a casual plate meal, and he wants something else.
Dire's middle tower is under
Maybe
attack.
just a heart after this, so he can actually survive the. Because like Ember is gonna do a lot of chip damage, like in and out chip damage, and he back off. So if you have heart, you are able to regenerate after he chips you. So it could be a good option against Ember to go for a heart.
Well, while we're debating who's going to buy the AC and CDEC, Liquid are
Radiant's
busy
bottom
just
tower
flat
is
out
under
purchasing
attack.
it from scratch. Fana will complete his. And Liquid, although the game is even, they're getting pretty terrifying on these
Dire's
cores.
top tower is under
They
attack.
have a Shivas as well completed, so the double armor available for them. The Shivas plus
This
the
is
AC.
truly a game of armor, and it makes it feel like the Visage is going to be falling off quite a bit.
He's not far ahead enough. Like you want to be more farm on the research at this stage of the game.
Dire's top tower.
I think ideally you want to have the Aghanim's obviously completed plus the makings of your next item. But he's not the farm research as we usually see on maybe Aoi when he was playing on E3. This is not that type of research that actually got so much space from his team. He's actually not having the best game, but he still had a really good impact in the early stages. He secured them a lot of team fights and he did a lot of damage during the fights.
Very tense game one here, Winter, and it's definitely slowing down. The team's, I think, realizing that nobody's going to go quietly into the night. They're going to have to earn a win here through blood, sweat, and tears. That's why we're seeing a lot more patience.
It's
and
still the same
discipline.
story. I think vision plus initiation. Whoever sees the opponent first, makes the first move, gets the battle jump, will win the team fight.
So there's the Quap AC grab now.
So Stala just has a casual
Dire's
plate
middle
here,
tower
I guess.
is under attack.
Versus Ember and Razor.
Yeah, and he goes for hard after this. Probably.
Honestly, I would
I-
not
I-
mind that.
I feel like it's weird too for him if he gets a lotus off this game. I mean, it's you can remove chains, you can
Chain.
you don't really remove anything else apart from that.
If you could get all your damage back from Razor, that would be pretty cool.
Dire's middle
Oh yeah, that
tower
would
has
Give me
fallen.
that.
that would have been cool.
But no.
Yeah, but
Alas.
still, it's still not worth it. I feel for the lotus of this game. I don't think it's that worth it.
No, you're preaching to the choir, mate.
Yep.
CDEC making their way
So
bottom.
the first move, they're gonna be able to make this first
Gonna
move.
throw
Or not.
shaky here. The pings are coming out, and XZ, the man in front, off the bat, they almost bring the Tusk down to below half HP immediately. Still most of the bottom, or Mataba Band rather. They're gonna try to chain him down, but they can't. Oh, actually, they do manage to burst him. Huge damage coming out of Kuroki. Charging through the cogs, will find the counter kill, but there's no buyback on the Ember. They're gonna have to fight this one without him. Jarek's just sitting back, waiting for his opportunities. Aggressive, moving forward into the fight. They've lost Garter out. And now it's the Spirit Breaker of Kuroki. Isolated, gonna
Oh
go down.
my god, they're
CDEC
gonna chase
chasing
them
forward,
down.
Looking for Fada. Don't quite find him. Instead, they're gonna hunt
Jarex
down
doesn't have a
Jarex.
TP though.
Well, that's a very important grab now. Witch Doctor gonna fall. He will spend his gold, but 3 for 2.
Dude, did you see the hook shot? He jumped to his Remnant, but the hook shot actually followed him to the Remnant, so he got stunned as well. That's why he got knocked down and killed. Holy shit. That was just
He
such,
just disappeared.
that
There was
was
5 heroes on top of him, familiars on top of him.
that was so unfortunate.
and like 5
I-
nukes as well.
I don't think they actually saw the Remnant at that position. It was just so happened
He
the
moved
claw was
in a
just
straight line.
yeah, the claw was coming in
It was
from
like-
the left, and he
it
just
was like
hooked
that
him from the
roughly.
right, and he just jumped to the Remnant to the right, and he just got hit for the hook shot. So that was a series of
300
unfortunate
gold
events.
short of buyback. Imagine how different that fight could have been
Radiant's bottom
for Liquid.
tower is under attack.
And it
They-
will be a Lotus
Are
Orb.
fortified.
Perseverance now picked up. Interesting.
So honestly, what else other than the change? So you have the static link to echo share off. You
Radiant's
have
bottom tower
the charge, I guess.
Yeah. It's a little strange.
It's yeah. I definitely think it's a little strange unless you are up against an early side of Vice, then you would say that there's a lot of merit getting the early. I mean, it's not even early, but getting
It's
the
like if Spirit
Lotus off.
Breaker, if his spells get reflected, does he really care? He's not expecting to live after he jumps in anyway, so.
It's a one-way ticket for him, so
Yeah.
he doesn't care.
I guess you get
No,
free-
Lincoln.
you get a
Oh
free
dear,
s-
he's
Lincoln.
getting Lincoln. Okay. This is actually much better,
I
maybe.
guess there's going to be a Hex at some point with Liquid on the Dark Seer.
And he's getting controlled by the cast. But it's still weird though. If he,
TKB.
it's still weird to go
He's not
Lincoln.
getting controlled by the cast.
Yeah, it's still weird if he goes Lincoln.
I feel like he was planning to go AC, and they just did not communicate about it. He sees the, like, they find
But
out
then
the
can't he
Pop is
just
already
go a
getting it.
hard? Doesn't a hard feel better? I don't know. I'm not sure. I definitely feel like Lincoln
Alright,
might
you know
not be
what?
the most optimal choice.
Instead, he's going Battle Fury Scotty. It's happening.
You wish.
Start our dream. No,
You
there's your
wish.
Lincolns.
Good. Maybe in 100 years, someone will actually do that.
Moving forward, Matumba Man has the Ion Shell Liquid hunting.
Initiation is key once more.
Buyback
Whoever gets
check,
the
only
jump,
Quap has it.
whoever
nobody else.
gets the jump will win the fight.
Well, that's where the Linkeds might come in handy. They're going to deploy it on Cheeky to help keep that Quap safe, and she will march forward. Familiars going to reveal Liquid here fairly soon. The smoke down below half duration, so they will appear in short order if they stick around. Seems they were wise to this gank. CDEC not going to fall for it. Now Roshan will spawn soon with nobody having the key hero advantage.
Man, his Razor is so freaking farmed.
He's always farmed.
He's always so farmed on the Razor.
I'm telling you.
He doesn't
This
have
game
like
is
the,
a crap load of
he
CS.
doesn't have the best kill, like he doesn't have a lot of kills, but he's still really farmed for a Razor.
Fada just farms so much more than any other Razor. At least active Razor players.
You have to keep up the farm, I think, for a hero like Razor, because generally the hero gets a lot of gold from participating in fights, getting power last hits, getting multiple hero kills. But when you are not actually getting that, you need to be keeping your net worth up by actually consistently farming efficiently.
CDEC quickly moving into the roast pit now. It may be too late for Liquid. Already they begin their own
It's too
rotation. They
late.
have no vision of this, but obviously with everyone off the map, it's quite likely their Roshan already. Aegis grabbed by Shiki. Liquid unable to contest. Gem.
Well, he hooks in just to
passed
pick
around.
up the cheese.
Did he really?
Swag.
Is under attack.
So they have the cheese on the clockwork, Aegis on the Queen of Pain. I still feel they need the Hex for like a really good initiation on the Ember. The last time around, it was just lucky that they got the hook shot on him after he jumped out from the Rampage. I don't think they would have actually won the fight if that didn't happen, so they were sort of lucky to win the last fight. You have to have more reliable lockdown against the Ember. That's what I feel right now for CDEC in team fights.
CDEC now with the Aegis and the Cheese Winter. How aggressive should they be? Can they really force this? Do they just look for pickoffs? Are they trying to just barrel down mid as 5?
I think they should be pushing out the lanes first. They need to get the lanes out as far as they can, because Ember will be trying to red and speed push and with his bots obviously. So either you gank him or you just take care of your lanes first before you try to run down one lane. You cannot allow the Ember to get too much of a trade. So ideally you want to be getting the lanes all out so he can't really push and touch your towers, even though Ember is not the best, sieger of a hero. But you still don't want to be taking a bad trade if you're CDEC.
Slow and steady now. Only game 1 here. Both of these teams definitely in the running for the upper half of the group.
Wow, I thought he just got an AC. He has a Skadi now.
Yeah. Fada just... I'd like to have a little back inspection of his Razor game when we're done.
I guess he just farms really
He had the one
really
game
efficiently.
yesterday where like he didn't have that many creeps, he didn't have that many kills, they weren't really ahead in towers, they hadn't taken Roshan, and somehow he just had a lot of gold. I think he may have gotten a bunch of bounty runes and ended a kill streak or two. This game, he's got
But
350 CS, so this game it's not.
Are you trying to say he has a built-in
A gold
Grievous
hack?
Greed on Razor?
No.
That's what you're
I
trying to
just
say.
think it's crazy how he manages to farm so much on that hero. Very impressive.
Yeah. Generally, we don't even see Razors get that much farm, Even you have...
You don't even think about the word farm with Razor.
Radiant's middle
Not in your
tower is
vocabulary.
under
when you see
attack.
that hero.
I guess that's not that accurate, but I can take
Dire's
that.
top tower is
To a
under
certain
attack.
Yeah, to a certain extent.
Dire's structures
Obviously
are
not to the extreme.
fortified.
So this is what Liquid wants to try and do all the
Oh,
time.
Shiki TP out, but he does get cancelled at the same time though. Doesn't really matter.
Yeah, so this is what they are looking to do all the time when
Not sure why he
CDEC
was
has the Aegis.
I guess
They-
he thought Liquid was gonna push, but it's a very odd place to TP.
Maybe he was trying to set up a kill, like jump in, silence, and one of his teammates could actually come in for the fight.
Familiars prowling about, XC. Might actually scout out Fada, the rocket coming through.
Oh, he just saw it. He saw the plasma field.
This Razor is becoming a problem. He's just so freaking big.
They can't really even kill him. Like you can't burst him from 0, like
And
100 to
remember,
0.
they're throwing a Solar Crest on him as well. So he's also gonna have the evasion and the additional.
Yeah, I don't think there's any way that they can burst him from 100 to 0.
But I don't think they can ignore him. Like
They can't ignore him, but they have to kill him slowly. They can't kill him in one chain of spells.
they
That's
may
the
not have
problem.
a choice now. With Matova Man getting his BKB,
And they do they have a gem for the championship? That's the other thing.
punished here. Fada will lose. Decent chunk of health. Not Rexy can leave on her. They BKB. Hey, maybe if you get bashes like that, you can lock him down. The Queen of Pain committed. He's on the run. The Flock of Familiar.
still alive!
Hook onto Jarek.
He's
They
still
will interrupt
alive!
the Death Ward, but Thana survives through it all. BKB was committed for this, though, and the Witch Doctor's still down. Matumba Man rushing forward, looking for Shiki. He pops the Aegis to power. Dead to Q. But BKBs are down, and looking at
Do they go
CDEC,
high
are
ground?
hunting. They're going to jump Kuroki now. Crush is there, amp damage follow-up. Familiars doing their work, but gets the kill. 2 down. No buybacks on either. Matumba Man chipping away. Finish off those Familiars. Get off the stuns just in time. Well played by Q, but he moved his hero in a little bit farther than he would have liked. And it's at this moment when Shiki goes into DPS mode, picks up an MKB. CDEC wants some punching power of their own. They still have not managed to crack the base yet.
That is quite surprising though, but it just feels like they want to transition the Queen of Pain into more like how, you know, how builds he is. Queen of Pain is a semi-carry, like a right clicker. AC, MKB, even a Daedalus later, possibly. But I still think that they need a very reliable lockdown against Ember. I'm not sure if this might be a problem later, but we'll see whether CDEC can actually deal with the Ember by just using the Slada Crush or even the hook shot and the Cogs pushback to actually hold the Ember down just enough for his team to actually finish the Ember off.
Oh. Hey guys, just passing through, don't mind me. I will say Winter, I like the way CDEC are itemizing though. They're getting a ton of plus armor to deal with the Ember. We see every hero has an armor item right now. The Medallion on the Visage, he's building with Vlad's. Blade Mail on the Clockwork. Reeves up on the Tusk. A Plate Mail, Casual on the Slaughter, and the AC. So
And the heart coming from Slada.
they are really itemizing, I think, ideally to hard counter the Ember's damage, and to a lesser extent the Razor.
I mean, both of the teams should be building mass armor, right?
Narrow miss actually on the hook, and he thought that was going to connect. He popped the BKB.
Yeah, I feel like both of the teams like need to build armor. It's not only about CDEC building armor against the Razor and the Ember. Liquid is also gonna have to build a lot of armor for this. So Vlad's is not gonna come out soon for the SV because he's been dying and dying and dying. But the issue is like there's no other candidate that can actually build that item and use it very well. Darkseid is going obviously for his late game hacks to actually give them much more reliable initiating power. This might be a game changer though. I feel like the hacks on the Darkseid might be a game changer since the Queen is not going to hook shot onto
Hello,
Jarek.
buddy.
Again!
Jarek caught out XE at interesting grab. XE has just been doing work for CDEC.
He's been like focusing his hook shot onto the Witch Doctor all the time.
Well, he knows like the Death Ward caused them a lot of problems in the earlier fights, but last fight, admit he just saves the hook shot for the Witch Doctor, and the Ward's over, folks.
And even if Witch Doctor gets an Aghanims game, it doesn't feel like the Aghanims is going to change a lot because he's going to get focused by the Witch Doctor. Either that or he gets stunned by the Familiars from the Visage. So there's a lot of ways that CDEC can actually stop them channeling Death Ward from going off for a full duration.
Silence on the combo, he goes with the BKB. Winter, let me ask you, when we entered this game, the draft was over. It seemed like you felt that Liquid would have the better late game if properly executed. But with the way CDEC are farming now, they have 5 heroes that are relevant. And it does feel like Liquid are, to some extent, fighting with only 2. The Death Ward, still not even an Eggs. Death
And
Ward, he's very
even the SV is not so useful
So
anymore right now.
to some extent, it feels like a 5v3. Does that give CDEC the upper hand here in the late game, or?
They still have the Vacuum Wall though. I think Vacuum Wall is something that you cannot underestimate during the late game. Because when everyone is getting more items, you're actually making the wall much stronger for the Darkseid as well. So I feel like if they can actually get a good... They don't really have like a vacuum into a really good follow-up apart from the charge, which is not something you say too often. But they still have, I think, the potential to make a successful high ground defense with the vacuum wall, and they can still win the game if they actually get that initiation off. Even though they're behind right now, it's not much though. Like 8k goal at this stage, it's not a big deal. It's not a big deal.
8k, it's like what, 10% or less, a little bit over 10%.
Yeah, and I feel because they didn't go for the hacks, Ember can actually play very aggressive in team fights of pushing the lanes and whatnot. And he has the BKB now, so he doesn't have to worry about anything.
Just the bash.
Just the bash.
One bash, you're probably dead with amp damage. That's the breaks. Speaking of bash,
He's not that.
Wadar's about to get his heart.
I feel like he needs to be able to not get focused though. Like he can't really let the Sala go next to him as the Ember Spirit. generally it doesn't happen too much. But I agree, when he gets, if you get the Sada onto you, you're probably gonna die with the M damage on. So he needs to be careful of that happening. So Visage, after finishing the Vlads, would actually complete the Solar Crest as well. Heart completed on the Sada. So all these heroes are extremely tanky. The Heart is a really good choice
And
on
they
the
have
Sada.
no MKB on this trip.
They can get one on the Ember soon.
Both carries could potentially, I guess. But that to me is a worry. Like, Slardar already outrageously tanky. 31 armor, 3600 health with BKB and Linkage. Throw a Solar Crest on top of that. Maybe complete the Shiva's guard. Oh dear.
Shiva's dead.
I don't know. Why not? Just keep the plate mail, I guess, and go for something.
Now what else can you do with the plate man anyways? And you don't have a Shivas on your team. I guess.
You could get an Abyssal Blade just for the stun on the Ember.
Then why not just get a Hex on the Queen?
I'm saying for aggressive. I mean, I also think Quap could get a Hex.
Yeah, it's. I think
I'm
it's
not saying just because he would consider it Abyssal that.
Yeah.
I guess you could get a Hex.
Oh,
The Blink Craft's good dive. Tumba Man. That.
Did they see him with the wards?
Oh, they do. They're gonna hook him again. Has a Remnant available. One more XZ. The Cog's place, but not quite right.
He's gonna have another
Stop, and
hook
this
shot.
does isolate Fana a little bit. He goes to work, dueling it out with Shiki. CDEC slowly engaging forward. They're gonna have another hook soon. 1 second it counts, and he wants to find these backline heroes. Mind control. There's the hook initiation. He catches out 3 heroes. Then the crush quapple. Wham! Bam! And Fana likely to die next. Smacked down by the slithering fish. They hunt towards Matumba Man. Sleight of fisting. Jumping, but aggressive. I mean, this guy just doesn't care. He keeps on
hook
searching
shot!
for another hook, another grab, the cog back, crushes there, and the Tumba Man explodes!
Oh my
Even
god.
got mind control, it's gonna be 5 down! CDEC taking out the trash. Liquid getting absolutely buried in that team fight. And it really wasn't even close, Winter. None of their cores were anywhere near dying.
And it's again, Vision. Whoever gets the first jump would just take control of the whole fight. They wasted the whole duration of the Ember BKB because they had to use it to run away. And it just put them in a position where they could not fight at all after that. And those hook shots from XZ were just game winning.
That was brutal. CDEC showing some real strong execution in the late game here. Known at TI mostly for just stomping the early game and never looking back in the majority of their wins, but this is the kind of resilience you would expect out of a team that wants to make a deep run at a premier event. Liquid now up against it. They'll hang on, try to survive.
Feels
They
like
take the death
two
force.
sides of Rex right now. They're not buying back on the Razor, so there's no way they can defend this. They're gonna just give up the Rex. That is just one huge blow to the Liquid space, just by being able to catch the Ember there.
And more armor. Honestly, I feel like Ember is not remotely farmed enough now. With all these armor items. Well, Visage with the full Gravekeeper's Cloak, 44 armor at first. Clockwork at 41. 22 on the Tusk. He's got evasion to worry about, the activation to breathe. Another 39 on Slardar. Like, how often do you see an Ember at 53 minutes who's just not scary? But to me, Winter, this is one of those games now. And
Is
double
it
Shivas.
Rapier? Is it Rapier time?
I think
You need
so.
more damage.
Honestly, I think you do go Rapier.
Yep. Like you mentioned, there's 2 Shivas.
Yeah, there's a Solar Crest, but there's only 1 Solar Crest. So I think you still go Rapier.
Does he have anything at base? No. Doesn't have enough gold anyway.
Will he be able to farm it? He doesn't
I
have
mean,
that much
he already
time.
used his buyback, so I guess he doesn't really need to save up. But the double Shivas on CDEC gonna be handy. I think the Clockwork and the Stada again, giving them vision so they can actually find the appropriate initiation for their team.
Alright, so this may be the first fight where Liquid are in their base as 5. With the chance for that huge vacuum,
But
although
they can't really combo anything with the vacuum though.
Fighting outside the base. They're gonna go for this engagement.
Oh, the hook
Aggressive
misses.
gets caught off, and now the Shivas is there. He's still got the BKB. He's gonna pop it. Razor getting his skills damage, slows him down. Very slow without the sprint. Aggressive. BKB wearing off. This could be a bad fight.
Oh, the crit!
Also blinking away, and now the Cascade sees the courier arrives and immediately will die. Pays for it. Cheeky down, but it's only the Aegis. Now round 2.
Oh, he misses
Aggressive
another hook shot.
jump is back. Then again, the hook's gonna miss the walls there. It's a perfect fight for Liquid, but is it enough? Fana gets bullied down by Shiki. Shiki slowed, controlled, blinking away into the trees. Aggressive, moving forward. If he gets that crush of a man, oh god, he is so dead. Crush is there. No, maybe not. There's no backup. The Queen of Pain abandoned him. It's the Familiars chasing him down. Aggressive, sprinting away, slowly hunting Nishiki. Familiars start to clean up the backlines. Matumba, oh dear, the right clicks too much.
Oh, the crush!
Oh, he jumps into his demise. Pain and suffering ensue.
Oh no, mind control
Matumba
could be
Man
hunt
dead
down
for
here as well.
110. Mind Control, the lone survivor.
Doesn't have a
Who
TV.
cares? Just push down the top lane if you're CDEC.
He places his sentries around there. Just to buy a TV.
Yeah, I mean, do what you gotta do, but...
This is-
oh, by
this
the way,
is-
there's creeps in the
This
base.
is probably game right now.
Parties are moving in en masse.
Dude, they won that team fight by missing 2 of their hook shots, but they still won the fight.
Okay, that's not how they won the team fight.
Okay, that's
They
not how
won
they
it
won.
even
but
though they did that. Well, you said by doing that. Like, that helped them win. They won that fight, but...
okay, that was a really poor choice of words.
I've never had
Another
a
hook
choice
shot.
of This one's gonna connect. Mind Control trapped out. And almost done.
You know, by the way,
Bam, bam, bam.
I always talk about not when you don't get 4-star against Clockwork, but this game, this is the first time I'm thinking, okay, they actually don't have a 4-star against Clockwork.
Tower is under attack.
Well, Ember can always jump out of it.
What about Razor? Razor's not going to jump out.
Yeah,
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
a lot of times when these heroes got caught, though, they weren't near their team. That was part of the issue as well.
Yeah, but I think the story of the game is always about the same thing. Whoever gets vision, whoever gets the jump, whoever will win the team fight. It's all about initiation and vision this game. And CDEC just had the better initiation this game.
Well, they show some real poise in the late game. I suppose you expect nothing less from a team
Clockwork
that
MVP.
2-0'd EG at the main event. And
Clockwork
finished
is the
second.
MVP for this game.
XC's been the MVP for this team in a lot of games. Everyone loves to talk about aggressive, but XC, he plays it all. He plays the Broodmothers, the Clockworks, whatever you need, he'll get it done in the offlane for them. Big win here. Any final words before we let the panelists have at it?
Initiation is the key this game.
All right, Kato guy, you heard him. Do you agree?
Initiation is the key, according to our casters there. A hell of a win for CDEC, one they desperately needed. They are craving the 3 points here in round number 1, and what a show for our debut match. Nearly an hour-long, gritty match. I love those kind of... David, you were into this match. Give us the TLDR of what the hell went down.
I do definitely agree that initiation was the key, and we saw that CDEC was mostly focusing on the Witch Doctor. They're recognizing that he is kind of the most annoying hero with the cast multiple bouncing, the damage output that he potentially have. And for that reason, Witch Doctor never actually channeled a full ult. It was either Slaughter, it was Clockwork, it was the Familiar Sons, and as a result, Jurax just had a non-factor game. In the last team fight, we witnessed multiple misinitiation from CDEC, and to me, they won that fight because on the back of some excellent itemization. The double Shiva Scar was a little bit awkward. Slaughter getting Shivas is awkward, but they're just so tanky. Like, if you think about it, Witch Doctor's not doing any damage because, well, he's dying. Darkseer's not doing too much damage because hero's not really designed to do that. Ember Spirit, normally 60-minute game, you're like, okay, Ember's going to carry, but not when everybody's sitting at 20, 25 armor.
Yeah.
So you're looking at a Razor who built defensive, trying to carry the team with damage, and I felt that CDEC, they had great initiation to win the initial fight, and when they didn't have the initiation come through, the itemization secured them the late game. So CDEC, even though they're kind of a newish team, to me, they show that they have the experience, and they outplayed Liquid quite a bit.
I feel like that game, the only reason that CDEC could have those initiations and be as tanky as they were, I feel like that was all on Shiki. He had a brilliant impact in the early game. At some point, at 18 minutes in, he was 6-0-5. Insane. He actually ended on 15-1-16. Only died once that entire game. He was able to make the plays, and he was able to make sure that Team Liquid was basically busy with him rather than getting the heroes as farmed up as CDEC's heroes were. So I think that Shiki's Queen of Pain, for the next series, I wouldn't be surprised to see that one banned.
Just as easy, though, you could say that, XZ's Clockwork was ridiculous. You don't want him to get that.
True.
And Aggressive just continues to show that his hero pool is much more grand than what it was at TI. No more just gyrocopter PL. He's been showing that he's got a lot to work with here, and even the Slardar.